Shall we just quickly have a conversation about the upgrade $50,000 personal loan with FICO as low as 550? I think we should, right? I want you to stick around till the end of today's conversation. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweaty Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you are to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about the upgrade $50,000 personal loan. FICO 550, that's the minimum. Before I get into the actual nitty-gritty, please understand that this video is purely educational, purely informational. We have no affiliation, no relationship with Upgrade, and they have not paid us to do this video. So let me give you an overview here. With Upgrade, you have personal loans up to $50,000, minimum FICO 550, gross income $18,000 per year. So if you're making $1,500 minimum per year, you can qualify. This is pre-tax income, okay? And you should have no active bankruptcy if you want to qualify for this loan. And we love the fact that with Upgrade, you actually have a simple way to build your future. You have low fixed rates. You have affordable monthly payments. That's pretty good. They have a very user-friendly interface. You have no prepayment fees. We love the fact that they are very transparent in terms of their loan. You can take the money to do a lot of things. You can refinance credit cards. You can do debt consolidation, you can do home improvements, major purchase, whatever it is, you choose it. And they also have flexible personal loan options. So with Upgrade, you can actually choose the best option that fits your monthly budget and schedule to get out of debt. So you have single monthly payments. If that's what you want, you can choose your monthly payments that will not ever change and that fits your budget. You have fixed rate and term. You can pick the terms that fit your timeline. So we love that flexibility that Upgrade has vis-a-vis the borrowers. They have a very quick and easy process, so you can get pre-qualified within seconds. So you check your rate, so you apply online in minutes. You can see your rate with no obligation or impact to your credit score. So no risk of getting a hard pull here. So once you check your rate, if you're interested and qualified for any offer, just choose your loan. So you'll review multiple loan options and decide which offer is best to help you achieve your financial goals. And the third step here is that you have one-day funding. So you accept an offer and you should receive your money in your bank account within a day of clearing necessary verifications. Let me dig a little deeper here, folks. I want to give you an in-depth analysis about the Upgrade loan. Folks, we are still having a conversation about a massive personal loan from Upgrade. Maximum loan amount, $50,000. Minimum FICO, 550. And you only need to be making $1,500 in gross income every month. I mean, when I said only, you have to be making that amount, because only is a relative term here, okay? Now let's talk about the loan amounts and terms. So loan amounts. Upgrade personal loan amounts are based on your credit profile, but they generally range from $1,000 to $50,000. And based on our research, most loan amounts are limited to $25,000 to $30,000, okay? And if you are in Georgia, you must borrow a minimum of $3,000. And if you are in Massachusetts, you must borrow a minimum of $6,400. The loan terms. So Upgrade offers loan repayment terms from 2 to 7 years or 24 to 84 months. What about the loan cost? The APR. The APRs oscillate from 5.94% to 35.97%. The rates are fixed and therefore do not increase over the life of the loan. So your APR will depend on your credit score, your credit usage history, the loan term, and other factors. And if you want to obtain the lowest available rates, as a qualified borrower, you must also sign up for automatic payments and be directly paying off another outstanding debt. In terms of origination fees, you have a fee that oscillates between 2.9% and 8% of the loan amount. The fee is subtracted from the loan amounts. Late fees. If you make a payment that is more than 15 days late, you are charged a late payment fee of up to $10 once per late payment. And you have prepayment penalties. Actually, there are none when it comes to Upgrade, so they don't charge you for that. They also have, in some cases, a title transfer fee if we're speaking about car loans, and they also have an insufficient funds fees. So you got to think about really the best way to avoid all those fees. And what are the perks and features? So you have auto-pay discounts. I was just telling you this earlier. So you can actually get a discount of up to 0.5% if you actually pay automatically. You have payment flexibility, so you can change your payment dates to better fit your budget. You have credit monitoring and educational tools. So in addition to personal loans, credit cards, and checking accounts, Upgrade offers a credit monitoring program called Credit Health. And this is a free service that lets borrowers monitor the Vantage Score 3.0 credit score, simulate their credit score based on different scenarios, and get recommendations on how to improve their score, among other useful tools. They also have a mobile app that is great. Let's have a conversation about loan transparency. Folks, just to contextualize, we are still having a conversation about a huge personal loan from Upgrade. Maximum loan amount $50,000, minimum $1,000, and if you have a FICO as low as 550, you can qualify for this Upgrade loan. And loan transparency, in all the loans that we have reviewed on this show, Upgrades is one of the best in terms of loan transparency. They are very transparent about their pricing. What they do is they educate the borrowers about the process. So before you sign up, they will explain to you how much you have to pay. They have a list of fees. They just are very upfront. They're not backstabbing you, quote unquote. They're not really charging you exorbitant fees after the fact. No, they're saying everything to you beforehand, and it's totally your call to say, you know what, I like this or I don't like this. They also make sure that they say things in a very simple term. The terminology is very simple. They de-jargon all the process. They make sure you understand. They focus on knowing you as a borrower in terms of your needs, your budget, your financial history, and so on and so forth. They are basically honest with you based on your situation. And we love the fact that they constantly provide absolute clarity about the loan. All Upgrades loans are very transparent. For example, when they give you an offer, or when they give you a series of offers, every offer has specific information about the offer, the terms, the APRs, and it's totally up to you to say, you know what, I like this or I don't like it. And they also do a great job in terms of their mobile app. They use their mobile app to educate the borrower, to educate the applicants, not only in terms of their credit score tool, but also once you are approved, how do you pay, how do you avoid all the fees that I just mentioned to you earlier? Okay, and let me just show you on the screen here. You can see on the screen there is an example of transparency, the kind of transparency that we are talking about and exhibited by Upgrade. Look on the screen here. So they explain to you a simple breakdown of a personal loan. So they're telling you that you can get to know the rates, fees, and your payback plan before. So for instance, if you are approved for a $10,000 loan with a 17.98% APR and a 36-month term, you can see here very clearly how your payments will be. You will be paying every month $343.33. They're showing you, like, so it's very, very clear. And this is something that we love with Upgrade. Let me give you an overview about Upgrade. So I've been speaking to you about their loan transparency, but who is Upgrade? Folks, we are still having a conversation about a $50,000 loan from Upgrade. And the minimum loan amount is $1,000, maximum $50,000. And if you have a FICO as low as a 550, you can qualify, okay? Upgrade actually offers personal loans to borrowers in every state except Iowa, West Virginia, and Washington, D.C. And loans range from $1,000 to $10,000. And they are funded as soon as the next business day. What we love here is, what are the pros and cons here? You have low minimum loan amounts, $1,000 for example. They offer direct payments to third-party creditors if you choose to do a debt consolidation deal with them. There are no prepayment penalties, and they allow joint applications. What about the cons? They charge an origination fee. The loans are only available up to $50,000. So if you're looking for a higher amount, Upgrade is not the place you want to be. And they have high APRs compared to competitors. So who is Upgrade best for, really? Upgrade is great for you if you need access to smaller loans. Remember, the maximum is $50,000. And while Upgrade may help borrowers with bad or fair credit get approved, applicants with higher scores are more likely to avoid the company's highest APR. So what I'm trying to say here is that even though the minimum FICO is 550, and believe me, you can still get approved at that rate, at that score. It's just a lot better for you to have a high score if you want to have a low APR. Okay, so when considering Upgrade, you want to keep in mind that the business does not offer loans in Iowa, West Virginia, or DC, as I just said. So after evaluating this lender on tens of criteria, including loan variety, loan amount generosity, the cost, the reputation, the customer service, we assign the company a score of 9.5 over 10. And our judgment was corroborated by reviews on Trustpilot, as you can see on the screen. Upgrade has received 20,611 reviews, aggregating an excellent score of 4.6 out of 5 as of the date of this show. That's just wonderful. That's fantastic. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Straight Kiwi Show. We're also having a conversation about a huge personal loan from Upgrade, $50,000. That's the maximum loan amount. Minimum loan amount, $1,000. If you have a FICO that goes all the way to 550, you can still qualify. So how do you, speaking about qualification, let's talk about eligibility. How do you actually qualify for an Upgrade personal loan? The thing here is that they actually choose a constellation of factors to determine whether or not they should approve you or decline you. And all lenders have their own unique underwriting requirements, but these requirements typically include information from an applicant's credit profile, right? And other factors that demonstrate your ability to repay the loan. For example, liquidity, your income. All right. So in terms of credit score requirements, Upgrade just wants you to have 550. So this makes Upgrade a good option for borrowers with fair or poor credit who need access to small loan amounts. Okay, as I said earlier, still the most competitive rates are reserved for the most creditworthy applicants. What about income requirements? So Upgrade does not publish its debt to income ratio requirements. However, and I've said this before, they only ask based on our research based on crowdsourced data. Upgrades has a minimum income amount of $1,500. So as long as you are making $18,000 yearly in terms of gross income, you can qualify for an Upgrade loan. They want your DTI to be around 35 to 40%. The lower the better, of course, right? DTI means debt to income ratio. So basically this tells the lender what portion of your income goes to servicing the current debts you have. And Upgrade is also kind of cool when it comes to co-signers and co-applicants. So if you don't qualify on a standalone basis, you can actually join forces with a spouse, with somebody else. So you can actually sign the deal. Now, Upgrade allows for co-applicants who meet minimum credit score requirements, but not co-signers. All right, it's very important. And we have actually covered the distinction between borrowers and co-applicants and co-signers on other shows, so I'm not going to go too much in details here. But one thing I just want to say is that as you're going through the Upgrade application process, just select Joint Application when prompted during the online pre-qualification process. I want to quickly talk to you about some other loans that are kind of similar to upgrades. Folks, in this show, just to contextualize the conversation, we are still having a discussion about a massive personal loan from Upgrade. Maximum loan amount $50,000, minimum $1,000. FICO that can go as low as 550. I want you to look right now on the screen. Here, I want to have a quick conversation about how the Upgrade personal loans stack up versus the opposition, quote unquote the opposition. So you can see on the screen here, we're going to compare and contrast 4 players: Upgrade, SoFi, Livestream, and Marcus. We have covered all those loans on our show. So you can see that for upgrades, it's better if you have a credit score below 670. SoFi has a large loan amount for borrowers with a high FICO score. Livestream has lengthy loan terms, and Marcus has small loans with flexible terms. Loan amounts, you have $1,000 to $50,000 for upgrades. SoFi, you go $5,000 to $100,000. Livestream, $5,000 to $100,000. And for Marcus by Goldman Sachs, you have a $3,500 to $40,000. In terms of maturity, term length, Upgrade 2 to 7 years. The same applies for SoFi. For Livestream, you have 2 to 12 years. And for Marcus, you have 3 to 6 years. By the way, Livestream is a division of Sun Trust Bank, something you need to be aware of, and which is now part of Truist, I believe. Truist. And one thing I want to see here is that if we compare Upgrade and SoFi personal loan starts at $5,000 and go up to $100,000, and APR starts at around 6% with autopay, which is similar to the starting rates offered by Upgrades, but SoFi's rates peak around 20% with autopay. SoFi's loans are also appealing because, unlike Upgrade, the lender does not charge any origination fees. What about Livestream? Livestream personal loans range from $5,000 to $100,000, and APR starts below 3% with autopay for certain loan purposes. And this makes Livestream loans much more flexible and affordable for the most qualified borrowers who need a large loan at competitive rates. And we also love the fact that you have a term that ranges all the way to 12 years, depending on the loan size, purpose, and credit worthiness. And what's more, Livestream does not charge origination fees, which further reduces the overall cost of a loan, especially as compared to Upgrade. And then in terms of Marcus, the comparison is pretty straightforward too. Marcus offers smaller personal loans from $3,500 to $40,000. Rate starts at around 7%, slightly higher than Upgrade's minimum APR, but they max out at around 20%, which is much lower than Upgrade's highest interest rates. And furthermore, Marcus does not charge origination or late fees, and this lower rates come with the catch because Marcus has a higher recommended minimum credit score of 660. They have been known to go all the way to 580, but in general, 660, 640, it's about the range they like to play within. Now let's talk about the application. How do you apply for this superb business loan from Upgrade? We're speaking about maximum loan amount of $50,000 and a minimum loan amount of $1,000. We are speaking about a minimum FICO of 550. So to apply for an Upgrade personal loan, you want to check your rate. You want to submit a formal application, accept an offer, await funds, and start making payments. So by checking your rate, you are actually doing a soft pull. Okay, this is pretty simple. You're doing a soft pull. They're not going to do a hard pull on you. And this is what we love about Upgrade, because you're not risking anything. If you don't like the offer, if you don't like the APR, if you don't like the loan amount they're giving you, then just decline. You want to decline quickly here, okay? So let's go online and just go through the process here. I doubt that it will work for us, but let's just try. So you go to Upgrades, you click on personal loans, and where it says get started here, you want to put the loan amount you're looking for, and you want to put the loan purpose. So in this case, we put large purchase, and other purposes include pay off credit cards, debt consolidation, business, home improvements, and other. So once you put the information, you want to check your rate. Click check your rate, and Upgrade will ask for additional information. So you'll put your first name, last name, your address, your zip, your date of birth, And you can see that there is another section for joint application. So if you want to add another person, you have to click the joint application, in which case Upgrade will give you actually more options to fill in the information. And you have to click continue. And here they're asking you how much money do you make in a year? What's your income? Remember, the minimum was what? $1,500. That's gross income. So here we put the annual revenue, and if you have additional revenue sources you want to actually include here, go ahead and do it. And they want you to create an account. You put your email and your password, click, and then once you do this, you have to click check your rate. So the system will take maybe a few seconds, 15 seconds to 30 seconds to process your information, and then it will give you actually a result. So in this case, in our case, we were rejected, and that makes sense, right? Again, because we did not put the right information. We put fictitious data, and because nobody in our team wanted to risk their credit score just for this experiment, so we put the wrong data. But if in your case, if you put the right information, your geography, your profession, your biography, anything that you put, your personal information, your income, if you put the right information, you should normally see a series of offers from Upgrade, and it's totally up to you to choose the right offer. Thank you, folks, for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was talking to you about a massive personal loan from Upgrade, $50,000. That's the maximum loan amount. So I gave you a glance into this loan. We went a little deeper here in number 2. Then I spoke about the loan transparency at Upgrade. Number 4, the lender overview. Number 5, eligibility requirements. Number 6, comparison with other players, including Marcus, SunTrust, via Lightstream, and the third player was SoFi. And then I walked you through the application process. Thank you so much for your attention, folks. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.